Alright, looks like we're live. So today I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of, I guess, giving Wyrmsbane a little bit of a facelift. Well, some of this might be done other ways, but for now. I wonder how this would actually look if I haven't played with Unity's decals, so. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Okay. So, excuse me. Play a little bit with some of the stuff in here that just needs some, material. Find a color. Sorry, I'm off screen doing this. That's not too bad. It's darker than I wanted. Hold on a second. Why are my... That one's working. Where are these ones not working though? Weird. Huh. Looks like this one. There we go. We do need to have these facing the camera. Need to go back into the... Oh, the candle flames are not linked up to the correct one. Let's fix that. Alright. This one is linked up to that one, which is not what we want. We want this one and this one linked up. We want this one and that one linked up. Okay, I think the rest of them are good. Okay. That's that one. Duplicate this one. So now we can make blue candles as well, which is going to be more when I get into that area. Ooh. Helps if I put it in the correct one. Add a blue light. It's not going to be volumetric. Maybe I'll play around with volumetric. It's not going to be very intense. And I'm going to need to turn off snapping for this. Where did my light go? And oops, that's not what I wanted. We'll grab that color. This one. I know which one's the last one. Not liking that color. I mean, it works in the wax, but now that I'm really thinking about it, the color that's diffusing in the wax is not actually the color of the light. It's the color of the wax. Let's desaturate that to a pinch. looks a little bit better. Which is what we're going for. Anywhere else I can get some stuff real quick. Oh, I know one thing. We're having issues with the collision here. I'm wondering if I were to actually, let's not split that. And let's what am I doing? Not what I need to. Okay. So I need to turn that back on. And oops, put that back. Try that. I can always move it further too if we need to. Hey John, how's it going? Okay. One side. So I'm just gonna close up these holes now, and then I'm going to bring up a little like banister essentially over this, and the reason being that basically you walk in here, this entire room aggro's on you, which is not quite what we had in mind. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. These gnome barriers. I guess that would work. It's taller than gnomes for sure. Hey Chaz, how's it going? Alright. And we'll just finish closing these holes up. And do the same over here. Good, might have to mute for some meetings soon. What you working on? So I'm just kind of updating a couple things here in Wyrmsbane. Excuse me. I brought the tabards back in. I'm not sure. I think when we had broken prefabs, they got removed, and I threw the texture that Goblin had made, and we've been using as a rough Wyrmsbane crest on the Wyrmsbane gear that we have in game currently. I'm not sure if that's what we'll actually use as our Wyrmsbane heraldry going forward, but I threw that on there, and then I created a decal over here and placed it on there. So now that the heraldry sculpture actually has some heraldry on it. And right now I am closing up an issue we've had for a while, but it's become more problematic as more people have been testing it. So, and that's the antechamber here. Has a tendency to aggro the entire room below as you're crossing the bridge, which wasn't necessarily intended. And then so it aggroes here. They all run through here. There's two mobs and a named, and then I think there's like another 1 or 2 in this hallway. So basically you walk in here and you get like 10 mobs on you, which again wasn't necessarily what we were going for. So I am attempting to fix that with just a small geo update. Where'd my vertex colors go? Just do this one. Oops, actually no. Let me back up. I don't want to do it that way. And if I run out of stuff here in Wyrmsbane, I'll probably go back to working on Spellbinder's Spire. That is still a work in progress. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. These are fine, but... doesn't look as bad with the lighting. Let me select the... Raise that. So maybe if I... Oh, it's the range that's causing the issue. And oops, I thought I had that on the entire time, and I didn't. I was like, why is this not doing anything? Because I'm an idiot. Pure and simple. I still want it. Before, it looked weird being only lit from underneath when I brought these up because it had a little bit of light bleed and it would have caused issues otherwise. That should be good. Oh, I can't do that here though. All right. Let's turn the lighting back off. And these are all supposed to have murals on them, but we don't have the decals for them all currently. So I'm just going to use these for now. Just to have something on there. And then when we actually figure out what the illustrations are going to be. We can update this. I can. Oh, hold on. Stretch the decal. How can I flip it? There's got to be a way that I can flip this. Ah, here we go. Tiling X. -1. There we go. And again, I'm just gonna copy these to the other two places too. I don't have some like grand plan right here. I'm just literally putting these on here just to have something. make these. I made 2 versions. Oops. Make this the inverted one, which is darker. Put it on these as well. Don't know how well it'll go on the 90-degree corners. We'll see. It's not terrible. One lined up. And this will be negative 135. And maybe let's just do this. Put one in the back here. Hey, Lord Sacrum. How's it coming? Looking awesome, thanks. Appreciate it. Let's take a look at the lights. And I'm totally forgetting how to Some of these you can't even see without a torch, which is fine. Honestly, I kind of like those ones better. Let's... grab all these. Switch it to the... lighter colored one again. YouTube yelling at me? Yeah, YouTube is yelling at me. I forget. Oh. Yeah, that is visible over here, but they're so like it's so small. I don't think I'm gonna actually put that on there. Is there anywhere else in here that makes sense? Oh, definitely makes sense to continue that theme. The depth of this so large. Oh, I forgot I changed it to 3 for that other spot. So this should line up with the other spot down here. Any other place where it makes sense. Might even make sense to like Oh yeah, we're up to decorations. Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit. I was working on some other stuff. And basically getting these tabards back in. And then I was like, I wonder if I could use this as a decal as well. I don't think this works here. Let's try... This in the chapel it would work? Nope. It might work back here. Shoot, did I delete that? Oh, I controlled Z back out, whatever. I'll just do this here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. This might be too big, but we'll try it. It's the same scale. It is. Carbon frozen dome decorations at some point. Although I don't know if they'll be carbon frozen, but more like hewn into pieces. I guess you have your first housing decoration. Corpse of gnome. The only thing that I don't like about this here is that's right there. Is there anywhere else I could do this? I don't know. Maybe it won't work. Alright, so another thing that I did is I added these spots down here. Because we want mobs. We want to make this a little bit more actual deadly. I think eventually what I want to do is export these out and make an animation so like they come out of the ground. think that could be cool. And then actually like apply damage. So I'll have to do that with statics and volumes. But we have an issue where they like if they jump down, like it causes some pathing problems. So I think what I want to do is see what size this is. Yeah. Okay. Make this 4. Of course, it's all the way up there. There we go. Pieces of gnomes everywhere. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Retractable on a timer or on a trigger. I think so. I've been wanting to kind of rework this. I know in Ham's initial write-up, it had this kind of like bridge plank that was supposed to be over it. I kind of want to honestly get rid of the bridge plank and make these trapdoors actual like legit trapdoors. But I'm gonna have to get more confident with the static system before I really dive into this. But I'm kind of almost thinking like these trapdoors would be here. You can, if you walk on them, you fall down. There'd be a little lever here, so when you're training out, you can either drop down and take the damage, and there's gonna be two mobs down there waiting for you, and then you can run out. Or if you have enough time, you can click on the lever. It brings these up and locks them for 30 seconds or whatever. So you can run out. So it's a, how dead am I? How, is stopping or, accurately clicking on the lever while I'm running with a train on me, like, you have to think, do I drop down and take the damage and potentially die down there, or do I take the time to click on that and wait for these to go up? But we'll see. But to prevent the pathing problem, I want to link this back up. Also, I don't know if there'd be a way to trigger this opening from outside, but that actually works with the lore for here. So when you first walk in, you might have to drop down and take damage, and then if that's the case, there's gonna be 2 mobs down here to clear. And it's starting to feel like super dangerous, like right off the bat. I'm starting, like, the idea kind of gives me a little bit of lower Guck vibes. Except you don't have a drop down, obviously, but now the question is, do I change the flow of the zone? Because we have this lower area right here that's level 1s. I could potentially, kind of just spiral over here, and then you're now entering through here. Or I could try to spiral it up this way, thread the needle, and then you pop up at the same spot. But I also need to think about trains, so this is probably the best way, because, you know, here I am training out, running, and I jump down here. Well, then the mobs that follow me down here are going to have to find their way home. So if they're finding their way home, you know, through here, there's a group camping over here, which currently we've, during our playtesting, have found people, you know, will camp over here. Now they're getting trained by the return of stuff that they're not getting trained, you know, on this way through. So there's that. But if I were to have them pop back up here, where am I? Right here, it would essentially be the same as them pathing back. It's just going to be a little bit more delayed. So I think I'm going to start with that. I think that's what I'm going to start with, but we'll see if anything changes. Again, you know, all this stuff is like very much work in progress, and things like that. Really should put the oh, I forgot to loop the playlist. Sorry, guys. If John has way, gnomes would trigger it. Gnomes should trigger everyone. I do plan on having gnomes play vital roles in navigation, or halflings, or any small race, or anybody who has access to a excuse me, to a whatchamacallit, shrink spell. Everyone. Will there be a lever on the other side to unlock the bridge? Not that I'd leave people behind to save my own skin. So if I end up making that happen, I think it would be like, as you run out here, you'd have to click on something. Maybe it's even, you know, this torch gets replaced. I mean, these are still like the torches that we've had since I got on the project. We haven't updated them yet. But let's say maybe it's a torch here, and you have to run and click on the torch. It, you know, comes down, and then this opens, or not opens, but it closes and locks itself. And maybe it locks itself. You know, it could be 30 seconds, which would give most of the group a time to run out. If it starts getting down to like 10 seconds, you know, there's a definite chance that like people are running out and it opens up and drops you in, which I think could be kind of a fun thing. So then again, you have that, do I wait because I know it's going to close to click this to make sure it stays open, or do I risk running across, taking the trap damage? We've talked about these being like fungus men, or something like that, down here, but we'll see. Okay, so I need to get to here. So this should kind of go down already. Oops. Figure out how much room I actually have to work with. The only problem is I know there's going to be light bleeding, like, right off the bat. So it's going to look funky. I may either have to reposition lighting or something, because right now we don't have the torches all giving off light. Or giving off shadows. Because lag is definitely a thing when you start having everything with shadows. So eventually we'll kind of do a pass, like a more refined pass of what John did here, where things are triggered, or the lights are triggered and enabled and disabled. Ooh, this is gonna be tight. Do I have the room to do it? I think we're good. So now I need to get down to there. Again, there's going to be all kinds of fun lighting bugs because stuff's changing. Some more lighting bugs underneath here. Okay, let's do this. Who needs an evenly lit hallway? Okay. Every time I start playing with the lights in here, it just makes me miss Unity, or Unreal. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's make this a little larger. think maybe there could be a cool... I mean, I guess a rogue, if you wanted to send a rogue in, a rogue could, you know, sneak its way and open it up for everybody. I'm trying to think if there's another spot, another way I can do that. The problem is I don't have a lot of geo to work with to like hide something, because you basically have this kind of broken S. Listen to that one part there. It's more like a C, but it also kind of has a little extra spot. Rooms have slightly higher ceilings. And it might be that I'm adding a couple little spaces over here in case Nick wants to throw some more mobs in here, but it may end up just being a tunnel all the way up. I can really easily break these little side spots back off. Let me think about this, because if mobs are pathing back through... Well, if mobs are pathing back through here, they're already unaggroed, so... that wouldn't be a bad thing. Might be a bad thing if you're grouping in here. See, do we have any real bad lighting issues? One here. I'm not going to add more lights because I don't want to cause flickering. And the last time I added lights, I caused a lot of flickering. I need to figure out, I need to find some time to actually sit down with John and figure out how the system works, if there's any like scripts or anything I need, and then yeah, I can probably go from there. Alright, and we will select by material, make sure there's nothing else snagged that I don't want snagged, and we'll add that one. It's like, let's see. John set up. These. And there's a couple spots I think we need to fix some stuff, because like some lights you actually visually see pop, so we need to like work on where the volumes are and stuff like that. But the question is, oops, that was not what I wanted to do. So yeah, there's like a collider here. And here, but I don't see any like array or anything to like add lights to, so I don't know how these are getting selected. Oh, here we go. So that I can add, I can remove. Here's the other question. How does it know? Oh, game object. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing I don't know, is like how to add in more of these, because I don't see where they're linked up. Is trigger. Is it just by the group? Enable game object while player is in trigger. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't know how to do. I guess it would be how to make sure these are linked up. If it's just as simple as like adding a trigger volume to the area. Let's try. Worst thing I do is I break the lighting again. So we will set a light in here. And this light would more than likely not already be in this group. What light is this? Point light 5. Call this point light test. How do I... That looks like it works. Okay. So when we go in here to test this, if this works... But don't celebrate too quickly, Stoic. We have to see. Okay, so this area I won't be overlapping anything. So all the lights should go out. When I walk into this room, this light should turn on. Very interested to see if this works. Why does this zone look weird? Oh, because I don't have... I'm like, why does this look... Why is it all of a sudden dark? Everything's missing. It's because I had all the lighting turned off. Oh, my neck. Did I not pull latest? Hold it. I don't have the latest pull. Let's fix this. And we'll try again. Double check no one's having any issues getting into the development server. No one's in bug. Give it a minute. If not, I'll just try another character. It's always when I'm like wanting to test if I did it something like tech-wise correctly or not, is when the server's like, nah, I'm just not gonna let you in. Yeah, loading. Alright, let's try another character. We'll do a fresh character. Come on, Unity, you can do it. Yay! All right. GM. Slash level. Or set level 60. All right. All right, let's try this. So I should see the light when I fall down here. There's a light. It should go off. It goes off. And it turns back on. Touchdown. Cool. So I figured out how to do the light, to tweak the lighting system. I don't know how to set it up initially, but I can at least I can at least do this much. Which is cool. So let's push to production, ship it for sure. All right, let's do some lighting stuff. Light triggers, pit. So it looks like it just needs to be... So this is just an empty group. Each of these have the enable game object while player is triggers or in trigger script. So essentially it's the Unreal or the Unity equivalent of when overlap or when player overlaps or on begin overlap. My brain's like not thinking. Which I'm assuming gives me all of this stuff. I don't know if I have to do anything down here when I add that component, but obviously adding the game objects is the important part. And it looks like any of the box colliders, as long as you have them set to trigger, as long as they're underneath that, it knows that they're part of it. Alright, this is gonna be way easier to do if I can see. Let's double check. Okay, that's not gonna work because it's overlapping too much. All right. It'd be so nice if I could have manipulated them. with Pro Builder. This one. That stuff. Let's just make sure nothing. Ooh, we already have some other overlaps. This get complicated quickly. Would the overlaps cancel each other out or just look weird? I'm worried more about the performance issue. Sometimes they need to be overlapped. I'm just worried about like this. So this is all turning on the church area, which is these lights. Where in reality, I kind of think this no, I guess I would need to be on. But yeah, no, the big thing is like the more lights I turn on, the slower the zone will run. So what I think I'm going to do is grab the church, duplicate it. I guess what I probably should do is have this eventually. I'm not going to do it right now on stream, but I'm going to have to like go through and logically think out some of this because we have a little bit of light bleeding from these lights, which aren't shadow enabled, because they're just more like atmospheric. But we get a little light pop right here. So I think what I'll end up having to do is make a group that this right here turns on this. When you're in here, it turns on these. I wonder how... the logic is. Like if I have a sim... If I have the same light on two different boxes, like 2 different groups, how that would work. Because I can't say whether I want it on or off when it's in there. Or is this... Does this actually check? If on, turn on. If off, turn off. Anyways, this is some experimenting that I'm going to have to do off. I'll probably do off, off stream. Alright, so this... Where does it need to be? Whoa, I'm grabbing both of them. And this should probably actually be out here more. So that as you're walking into it before you get over here. Because that was another thing. Some of the lights had issues where, like, you were inside the volume, or you weren't inside the volume soon enough. So you'd see, like, something pop in. So let's have it overlap with this doorway. So you'll, anytime you're, like, there, you'd see it. At some point, yeah, right here. So we will move this one. I wish I could see the other ones, like, as I'm placing it. That would be great. Why is my music not playing? Oh. My shirt or my arm or something must have hit the soundboard. Alright, we'll duplicate this one. And we'll make it go here. I think there's a pinch of light that you might see over here when you're going this way. That way you walk in, you're not going to see it pop. Let's see. I can't remember. Was there a decision made on player and mob collision? Currently they don't collide, if I remember correctly. But I don't know if that's a finalized decision or, you know, something that might change in the future. We'll see. But I don't think right now that is the plan, to have them colliding with with each other. That's good. That. Probably doesn't need to be that big. Yeah, because that overlaps those. And then these are all combined. I'm gonna make this one a little bit wider or taller. Just so I know they're overlapping. Like that. That should be fine. And then this one takes care of that. So we just need this area taken care of. And honestly, it's probably better that I am the one that ends up going and doing these light pass things, because I know where the stuff is, and like where you can see stuff and where you can't see stuff. Let's turn that off. All in that volume. Okay, so that should be better. Alright, do we have any other overlaps going on in this area? That was done to control access to certain shops in EQ. Gotta be on the list. Gotta pay to be on the list. If you don't, or if we don't get no troll or tolls, we don't eat no rolls. Oh my gosh. I still can't shake this cough and like a little bit of like, I don't even know if it's congestion, just like irritation in my lungs, I guess would be a better way of describing it. Post-COVID? No, I think it was that RSV that's going around. But whatever it is, it's been like mildly lingering for a couple weeks now. It's definitely annoying. Okay. So all of these lights will be in here for the pit area. And then I'll transition from here into the entrance and pit. Yeah, we'll transition into this in like right here before you come around the corner. Actually, no, probably just a little before. Yeah, because you're going to need to see it before that. So this will be the transition point. I'm not getting it. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not getting any weird light spells right now. Oh, no, shoot. I don't want that one. I'm in the wrong one. Actually, hold on. Let's... Top miscellaneous. Oh, hold on. For the most part, those are already overlapped, so it's not that big of an issue. Okay. That should be fine. So essentially... just overlap that, because it looks like this will overlap the other part. So you pop into here, come around that corner, this little bit of light spell that you see will already be there. Alright, so back to these. All right. Mm. Those lights are a little bright. Okay. Soften them a bit. Oh, I didn't realize I dropped the radius to 0. That would be why they were so sharp. Okay. Trying to use a little bit of light to kind of... It's early in the dungeon, so I'll be a little bit nice and at least give you some light to catch your eye. so you can definitely see both of those. Looks good. And I think I'm going to transition into more torches. So these need to get added. Is there, I wish there was like an easy way to add them to the volume thingy. So this is test 1 through 5, basically. Excuse me, I keep coughing, I apologize. Oops, test 2. Test 3. Look at me figuring out Unity scripting. Well, I'm not actually scripting, but okay. So that's good. And then we need some torches. Let's grab this guy. Now, I am going to have to figure out how the torch lights were done. And so am I going to be looking for the torch, or am I looking for the point light in the torch? Oops. Dark. All right, so negative 90. Okay. Oh, I don't have the snapping on. How many of these did I think were stamped correctly and were not? And thankfully most of them are. Okay. So I think I'll put these on their own group. Let me select the light bulb. It is. No, maybe it wasn't. No, it definitely was. Nope. Guess I'm not going to do that. Just have to make sure the range is not too big. So it's causing issues here. Okay, that is fine. Just can't increase the range on it. Actually, no, the only place I really have to worry about the range is right here. No. Yeah, I've got enough space. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay, so these were all added. Those should all be good. Now here's the test. Can I duplicate this. From pit to... What else was this called? Top. Miscellaneous. Okay. So, in theory, this should work. Alright, let's turn off the lighting so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Alright, so this is going to be the volume where I want to be able to see that. And I just turned off the lights, but I need them again. It's a very me thing to do. Okay. So I need to be able to see it by the time... Basically, we're in this room. It needs to be the entirety of that room. And the entirety of this room. They overlapping? They are. That's entirely encapsulated. This one especially needs to be like almost geo-perfect. Because I don't want you seeing light flashes. From here, but I also try that first. I suppose I can just make this one a little bit longer. Oop, too long. Let's do it this way. Hey, Golo. How's it going? Okay, sweet. I think I did that. Okay, so now this one, I'd have to go through and move selected, or just empty list. I need to add. Actually, let's go back. So it's literally just adding the torch. Okay. So which torches are in here? Torch. Torch 36 through 40? 3. So torch 1, 36 through 43. Torch 1. Alright. Moment of truth. Have I figured out the system enough to actually, like, use it? Oh, helps if I actually hit play. This loads. Okay, so now it stays lit the entire way through, which is good. That room could be bigger if we want it to be. So I'm gonna cheat here. Okay, so it is working because it is off. You guys can actually like physically see what's going on as you like transition through the different volumes. When I do that. All right, so put you back on. That is on. I don't see it pop, which is what I was worried about. Okay, that needs to be fixed. See, these are we have a couple spots in Wyrmsbane where that kind of stuff happens. So I need to basically just have a part of the volume overlap here Hey, Nicodemus. And that doesn't pop. I'm looking at it for anybody who's just joining, like Nicodemus. Just making sure that little light there doesn't jump in, kind of like this light does right now. There's a little pop right there. Get out of here. Oh, I've got no skills. Well, let's just slash kill these guys. Okay, so there is a little pop. Something is getting lighting. Honestly, it might be the lights down below me in the other room. So I probably have to play around with that one's volume now. Or it might be not. I'll have to double check. No, Nicodemus. I did a little bit of rework here in Wyrmsbane, based off of some. There's a pop there. Okay, so that is the pit. I may have to separate out those ones that I just added to another group so we don't get that. So basically break it out, and then as you fall into this part, it triggers this light and all the other lights on, so on. Johnny or Jowin Squirrel Cog, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, so this is the pit, if you remember, and I actually did some stuff to it. Let's hop back into the editor. I mean, I am in the editor, but let's hop back into the actual zone file. Where am I? So here's the pit. Problem with the pit was the drop down here, and then it made the pathing kind of funky. So one, we wanted to make it more dangerous. Eventually, I think I'm gonna make this as a prefab, and then they'll shoot up out of the ground when you land on it, so it doesn't look bad. And then all of a sudden it'll be like, and then we'll figure out a way to. I probably have to break the skull out into its own mesh, and to do that the way I want to. But anyways, so yeah, it'll look like just a bunch of holes, and then it'll shoot up. But we've been talking about putting like 2 mobs down here, maybe like fungus men or something when we eventually get them. But so you'll fall down here, and then the mobs now will have a way to path back up, because we were having issues with mobs pathing. So I'm solving pathing issues with geo changes. But looks good, and Spiky Pit are real dangerous in tabletops. D&D and Pathfinder. Can players move through the spikes without taking damage? Right now, yes. There's no trap down there. So I've been wanting to kind of revamp this a little bit anyways. And I don't know how to make a spell to actually apply the damage for these. But essentially the volume would trigger the static, And it would also, if you were in it, you know, fire off you taking damage in an interval, essentially. Or maybe it you land, spikes come up, fires off damage, and then, you know, sits there for a couple seconds, and then they drop back down. And then if you're in, you know, then it waits, resets, and then fires back up again. Something like that. To be honest, I need to get a little bit more comfortable with the statics and with the volumes and see how they can communicate, because I think Elise said that they can. I just need to get better at those systems that we have. But I'm also thinking about, so in the write-up Ham had done, he had mentioned, like, you know, there's a spike trap, and there's, you know, a wooden bridge or something kind of elongating it. I kind of want to play around with the idea of getting rid of this, or by getting rid of it, I can just, like, make it floating over here, so it's easy enough to bring back. But again, playing with the idea of statics is you would walk through, like, if this is open, you walk through it, it will fall, and then you'd fall down here and take damage. So when you're coming out, when you're running out, you could run through the fake wall here to get out, but then you'd have to fall down there and take damage from the spikes. Or potentially making a, because I want to do these things anyways, like, we have the torch here. I want to eventually make a torch that you can, like, click on it, and it would look like you grab the torch and pull it down, and then use that. That would be the reset for the door, and, you know, it would pop up, and then it would lock in place for, you know, 30 seconds. You could do, like, 10 seconds, which would really confuse people that are new and walking in for the first time. It could also have some funny moments if your group's training out and the first person gets here, clicks it, and runs through, but then the next person's not, you know, on 10 seconds, they're, like, halfway across the door, and then they end up dropping down. I think that could be some fun stuff. I'm not going to be playing and trying to set that up right now, but that is a kind of a future idea. The only thing would be that, like, the initial entranceway to this, unless you had somebody clicking on this, would no longer be through here. It would end up being down through here where you would take damage, and then up through here. And, you know, if Nick decides to throw in some mobs or something down here, you know, it might be a little bit of a more of a dungeon crawl entrance than just kind of a hold on a second, I don't have these at the same scale. Than the kind of slight little entrance that you get to walk through that we have currently. Let's rotate that 90 degrees. So yeah, as opposed to getting to here, and then this is where your first encounter is. Your first encounter could be right here, which could be pretty mean. Depending on how we have these mobs, this could be a pretty brutal way to enter enter it. Again, you know, maybe there's no mobs there. Maybe it's just these two pits. You could do a volume area to trigger damage. We are on, yeah. I that sounds like what I was saying. Would be cool if the board was an item players could pick up, or have clickable near the edge to prompt them to place the board. If they had an inventory once it'd been placed. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something like that. The board might actually work, but the problem ends up being, how do we get rid of the board? Because then it becomes one player on the server does it, and then it just always is bypassed. Unless it just sits there and then just poofs after a certain amount of time. Which I guess it could do. It could also, after a certain amount of time, just, like, break and then fall down. It would be kind of cool also if it had a chance, like when players run across it, that it breaks. That I think would end up needing more tech work though. But yeah, that could potentially be something. But because the idea of the lore is that it was kind of like a one-way. The reason this is here is it's a one-way object. You don't want people getting in. That's essentially what it was for. Although, I mean, this is literally an entrance, but if these are like guards and a spike, that could be a cool quest idea though, or maybe a crafting thing, like you bring a board, you drop the board down. The problem would be I'd have to figure out some sort of design that you would be able to click on the static to drop it down, or I have to talk, because I don't remember if mud objects let us like add statics to the world. Because it could be cool also if let me center this. If every time the board gets placed, it gets placed at a different angle. But the problem there ends up being, and this could still end up being a problem, this falls and then mobs get stuck. But I could also just increase the jump distance here on the nav mesh, so mobs can literally like hop across. You run across, this breaks or drops down, but you just made it. You're like, haha, it's all good, and then the mob just jumps across the gap to get to you. I don't know, actually, can it jump across this one yet? Well, they can jump from here to here. Here to here. And then they can jump down. I just set a timer after the board, or after a bit, the board could break and fall. Mobs can destroy it. We don't currently have a mob pathing over here, but yeah, you have to have a mob path over here. It would be kind of like, the timer is probably the easiest way to do it. I don't think we have a system right now where like we could run across something and like basically it rolls a die, and then, you know, if it hits a certain percentage or whatever, whatever the random number generation does, can cause it to fail, and then it breaks. That could be kind of a cool thing to do, where it becomes like super dynamic, but it's definitely got some creative juices going on just on this more than I had before. But no, that was a good suggestion. The board. I'm gonna have to talk with the team and see how the best way to do that would be. Maybe even like visually make screenshots with its setup in each individual configuration. Okay, so let's go back and finish this stuff off before I forget what I was doing. Once again, we are on the same page. Can you make it break if you go the wrong way on it? That would be even more difficult. The thing that I would be thinking of would be essentially the prefab itself, when it drops down, would also activate a volume, and then every time you run on the volume has a % chance to break the connection. And you know, and break that. But I don't know. It's definitely something to think about, though, and it gives it a really cool feel, like right out of the bat. And granted, there's a couple other traps and stuff down here, but that's like the most elaborate one. But currently, I do kind of want to do a couple other things eventually. I just need to sit down and actually like get more comfortable with the statics. The volumes I'm pretty good with, at least for the teleporters. The teleporters are super easy to set up. It's them doing other things like damaging players and stuff like that. I don't know how to do that. So that I need to figure out. Or like coming up with the damage, or if it's just like me requesting Nick making a spike trap, like nuke or something like that, that hits you for 10 points of damage, or whatever that, you know, the determined amount would be. I could even bake. I could bake the nav mesh with the board in there, so the mobs could always still run across, regardless of what this does. Because regardless, if it drops down, I still want them to be able to like get to you. So it's not just like you sitting there and there's just a massive amount of mobs. You need to get out of the zone so they reset. Go Indiana Jones style, make it invisible. Only appears when a spell. Well, I will probably play around with that. You know, invisible bridge out of the deep. In Indiana Jones Leap of Faith. At some point, but not here. Let's see. Low-level woodworking item board. Yeah, exactly. It would be cool if it's a trade skill item, like an easily made trade skill item, since it's first level. That gets you in there. And the quest NPC outside of Wyrmsbane maybe even could get some dialogue about it. But alright. Before I forget what the heck I was doing. At work I keep composition notebook of suggestions for my staff meetings. At my age, I have to write everything down before I forget. Yeah, I write stuff down on sticky notes. I got a whole bunch of sticky notes of things like ideas and stuff like that. But I'm at the same point. I definitely especially since COVID, I've noticed my memory is not quite what it used to be. Because I always had a crappy short-term memory. It was never great. But my long-term memory was pretty good. Oh, hold it a second. This should actually be its own thing. Okay. So we got that. I need to figure out where this light the light that's flickering, where is that? Is it this? Yes, that was the light that's causing the problem. So that means this area's trigger is the one that's causing me problems. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Okay, let's turn this off. And let's... I love John's naming conventions in here. Some area. Alright. Let's do this. This is all those lights. Let's... Let's not do that. Okay. Sure, the whole space is in here. Hey Trinity, how's it going? Brain frog is a real thing. I have it too. Yeah, definitely. But I have definitely reached that age where it's become more prevalent than it used to be. So this is where I was having the issue, so we gotta be... I want it to overlap that. So let's just turn off the snapping. The snapping is a pain in the ass. For something like this. Okay, so that is all inside that. Those all overlap. Oops, this one. No wonder. There was always some weird flicker here. It's because this was overlapping. Oh no, that's the one I just made. Never mind. I'm an idiot. But this one was taking up the spot. You don't have a wish list? I can't tip you an energy drink. I actually have not had an energy drink today. Could definitely use one. Is this all in Wyrmsbane? Yep. Doing minor edits to Wyrmsbane, but yeah, Wyrmsbane is a pretty big zone already, and there's a whole section that hasn't been built yet. Granted, the section this is going to be linked up to the sewers from the city, so it's more of just like an entryway. But yeah, this needs to eventually be added. Yep. Yeah, there hasn't been much put into this area yet. We still need to figure out what all the lore is. I think it's going to be a little bit of some deep themed. I actually just... Where is it? Where am I? Oh, looking the wrong direction. Oh, no, I wasn't. Oh, there it is. I just put some deep mushrooms down in this area, because this is actually running off to the deep zone. So, deep dunes. So, I'm starting to bring a little bit of the deep shrooms and stuff kind of have made their way out into this area. I don't know how much further, you know, if there's more, or if it's just kind of a little subtle around here, but... But I know most of these most of the tomb itself is mobbed out. Here we can look. Oops, that was not what I wanted. Zone panel. And we are in Wyrmsbane. Give it a second to pull the database and load in the spawn points. But I think most of the areas down there have spawns now. And I don't think any of the drop-down areas do. It would be pretty cool to start seeing some of the deep content. I'm excited about how that will end up. Definitely, I'm definitely excited to get to it. Today was a little bit of a palate cleanser for me myself. I originally came in here. I'd seen in playtesting when I was running around that this face was missing. Oh, that face is still missing too. Fix that real quick. Come on. Let me... What is going on? Oh, I have the zone spawners. It screws everything up when you have them in there. So yeah, this area right here still... Nope, that's the area I just built. Yeah, this area right here could still use some spawns. And there's a little spawn volume there with some beetles. So yeah, this area could probably still use a pass. It looks like Nick has started laying out some guys in here. Yeah, so this area could definitely use some more. And then obviously this whole area could use some more as well. Let me close the zone panel so I can actually go back and fix that. All right. a second. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to delete these because I apparently did not have the correct mode. There we go. And that's all in the ceiling, I believe. Oop, nope. I lied. There we go. So that's better. But yeah, I was fixing that stuff, and then I realized that these tabards, the bars were still there, but the tabards were gone, so I brought those back. And then we've been using this image on the Wyrmsbane armor, so I just threw it on the tabard, and we don't have actual heraldry like figured out for them, so I just threw black and white for now. And then I turned it into a decal and threw it in a couple spots. Eventually, these are going to have some more actual images on them. But just for now, threw some dragons around. And then, where else? Up here, because this is supposed to be the heraldry. So for now, it's the heraldry. It might end up being the heraldry, or what, but okay. I've been like super scatterbrained today. Let's get back to fixing this. So this was some small area. That's good. You know what? I kind of want to do it this way. Let's do that. Go straight up here. Yes, I can. So I'm gonna have to break this up into smaller ones. Turn that back off. They only need it here. I'm gonna push it just into this hallway. Ooh, that needs to be bigger. Shit. I'm trying to get it to this angle because I think this was one of the areas you could see popping before. Whenever I get to test M&M, what would you like me to be looking for bug reports? I think right now a lot of the things that we're looking for, like, you know, server instability, duplication, you know, game breaking, you know, like quest doesn't work, that type of stuff. Because there's a lot of like lighting and geo issues, but a lot of the geo issues are known geo issues. It's just because me and Simon are trying to expand out Night Harbor, that some of the stuff, you know, doesn't get it gets like really quickly thrown in, or it's like in progress. So we're not looking for that type of stuff specifically as a level designer. That is, I guess, more like how things feel as a level designer, like what things are working, what things are not working. Like excuse me, if if an area is drawing your attention, if an area isn't drawing your attention and you think it should be, granted, just because somebody thinks it should be doesn't mean that we're designing it, you know, to be that way. But it still is nice to know like what is working and what isn't working in that type of aspect. Like because some of the feedback I've gotten has been helpful about like where I want to focus on in Night Harbor next, just to kind of like clarify and get a little bit more in terms of you know, player navigation kind of locked in. But that's the kind of stuff that I personally find beneficial, is yeah, you know, that stuff that's just kind of like related to specifically navigation. You know, are you finding the area you want to that you need to be going to? Like, can you get to Sageside? Can you get to the Necropolis? Can you find your way through the zone? For the most part, feedback on like Wyrmsbane's been pretty solid. which has been nice. But again, small little things here and there. There was feedback that I fixed towards the beginning of stream, which we've known about for a bit, but now that we have more people running around, it's becoming more of an issue. This chamber, I put these railings up because the second you basically walked in, the entire room would aggro on you, and there's 4 in here, there's 2 in here with the named, and I think there's like 1 or 2 in this hallway. So you'd have like, you know, 9 or 10 mobs. You'd run in here and then 9 or 10 mobs would rush you, which is not quite what we wanted. So now I haven't tested it, but you should be able to walk through here and not get detected. Or maybe after I push, I may have to actually push and build. And then you can fight your way down. Or you can jump down and just fight the 4. So stuff like that also helps a lot. Like, you know, if there's areas where like aggro is just kind of funky and it's more something that can be controlled by just adding a little bit of geo to break up line of sight, or if it ends up having to be like a repopulation, not a repopulation of the zone, but like a adjustment to the population of the zone. Granted, that ends up being more Nick's department than mine. I can always move mobs around as well, but that's more of a Nick thing. Or lead environment artist, is there anything I could help with? Aggro is detected using sphere collision or cones. That is a question for one of the tech guys. I honestly do not know if we're ray tracing or if it's a sphere of if it's like a sphere or a cone. I honestly have no idea. I don't know why I've never asked that question. I honestly don't know. Environment art is less of a focus right now. Obviously, you know, we're using the same textures over and over and over again. There's been, you know, small little, like, you know, adding this type of stuff, and, you know, like I said, I was just adding this. So occasionally we'll do some environment art stuff, but it's been less of a focus just because, again, Night Harbor's so big, it's just been a lot of level design. But if you do notice, like, a prop, and the prop is, like, floating or something like that, making note of that is always good, because sometimes those types of things I will miss. I think I can get away with doing this. As long as it doesn't overlap there, I should be good. And in here, I don't need the lights out there. Okay, so that should be good. What was the other spot that I had issues with? I think it was the this one. Yep, yeah, it's right here. It's this one. Nope, is it that one? Yes, it's this one. Oh, damn it. It's still just too small. There we go. Let's see. Will do. Does the bug report allow for screenshots, snippets, to help you guys see stuff? I do not think currently the bug report system allows for screenshots. We have a testing section on the Discord that non-testers can't see currently. But most people have been posting, like, if there's been a video or an image needed to help, there's like a thread section that people have been posting that stuff in. Okay, so let's take a look at this, because getting close to the end of the time that I was going to stream today. And I will be streaming again tomorrow. This is a off day stream since I had to get a couple of things ready to submit for today. And I was a little behind on that, so I was able to get all that done last night and didn't have to worry about it this morning. Let's see, we'll do screenshots. At work, I ask my users to send screenshots to me as well, to tell me what they're trying to do when they run across errors. Oh yeah, no, that it makes life a heck of a lot easier to be able to like visually see what's going on or where it is. That will work. I can put a bug ID with an image in Discord. Yeah, that's what most of the bugs have been going currently. Okay, so let's turn off aggro. Alright. Let's run across here and make sure that that light doesn't pop on. Cool, doesn't pop on down below anymore. Drop down here. Oh, that has shadows enabled? Oh, they all do. I thought shadows were off. Oh well. We'll leave them on. I may add another light in here in the center that kind of brightens this up a bit. I don't want to increase all the radiuses until they overlap because I'm definitely going to send it through something. Okay. So this doesn't pop anymore. Good. That still doesn't pop. And I'm no longer triggering the lights below us. So there's no weird light there. Oh, I need to move this light. Although this is like really, this seems darker. I wonder if that light, you were probably getting this light the entire time, because you can't see that lip there anymore. Well, that'll be fixed when this moves over, but I'd never noticed that. I just assumed that that light was part of that lighting, so we'll fix that in a minute. That doesn't pop anymore, which is good. Yep, that doesn't pop anymore. sure. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. One little nook. So stuff like this, Nicodemus, is also handy. Like if you walk into an area and all of a sudden the lights shut off, that's another good thing to know. Especially now that I'm going to start doing the lighting pass stuff. Because I've figured out the system. Okay. Let's test over here. Oop. Hold on. Let's turn off collision. I just fell through a floor. Oh, hold on. What is turning on and off? Sanivek, thank you for the follow, and welcome to the stream. Let's see. Something feels different. And I think it's, again, the lighting down below. But it almost feels like something's triggering when I rotate. Oh yeah, that was another one. This needs to be extended. I just want to go and test the other areas that I did earlier. Over here, make sure they're still working. That was, So, I think I know what's going on right here. I think when I hit this, all the lighting in there, I maxed out the shadow count. So I'm gonna have to adjust that volume. Because I almost guarantee you that's what's going on right there. I really need a torch. off for a second. Okay. Just double checking there's no, like, noticeable flash as the light turns on around the corner. So that looks good. See right there, those are off and they're on. So that was another one of the ones that it's got to fix. I've been meaning to fix the lighting in this room anyways, but now that I know what I'm doing with the lighting trigger system, I can make this look better, which will be nice. See, there's that light bleed right there. I just don't know if I can do the same light in 2 volumes. Or in like 2 separate groups. Or actually, no. I could still have that pop on. Just pop on here. Okay. Never mind. I know what I'm gonna do for that. Candle flames are working again. Although, I don't know what the heck's up with this one. Why is that one like a funky color? Yeah, so I'll have to fix that popping. But, like I said, it's pretty much the end of what I'm planning on streaming today. So I'll continue to work on that on the side and clean up the lighting issues we've had, and make it look a little bit nicer in here when I need a break from Night Harbor stuff. So thank you everybody for hanging out. Always appreciate it. For anybody who's new and is not familiar with the project, we are making an indie MMORPG that's very influenced by the kind of late 90s, early 2000s MMOs. The name of the game is Monsters and Memories, and I just posted the whatchamacallit in chat, the website. Anyways, yeah, you can go on there. There's all sorts of screenshots, updates, information, frequently asked questions. There's a whole thing about, you know, all the different team members and stuff like that. If you still have any questions, feel free to join the Discord. Or if you just want to hang out, you're more than welcome to come in. But everybody on the team is in the Discord, so feel free to tag any of us with questions. Or just ask questions and then someone will answer, or tag the person who's has the knowledge. And it's a pretty big, I mean, the Discord's up to like 1,800 people now, so it's a decent sized Discord, so there's all sorts of conversations going on all the time. Also, if you are interested in being one of the testers, when we're hoping in the next couple months to do an open test, so a larger test. We've been doing a friends and family test behind the scenes to kind of polish the onboarding process and some of the initial stability stuff. But you'll want to be in the Discord, and you'll also want to be on the whatchamacallit, the mailing list. So that is the mailing list. These are the other members of the team that stream. Everybody kind of streams their own aspects of the game, so depending on what you're interested in, some of the streams might be more on what you like. Like if you're more focused on character art, Zukin's stream would be better than my stream, because I don't really do much character art. The limited amount of stuff I've done is like the ghost texture or not texture, the ghost shader and the will-o-wisp. That's about my contribution. Oh, and chainmail texture. Beyond that, if you'd like to get caught up on my stream or anybody else's stream, we have a YouTube channel, and all of our VODs go there. So if you want to get caught up on past VODs, great place to do that. If you are watching on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe, comment below, click the bell, all that fun stuff. It helps us out with the algorithm. The more engagement there is, the more the algorithm will want to push the content out to people that have similar likes. So people that like classic MMOs like EverQuest, Asheron's Call, Ultima Online, Dark Age of Camelot, like that era. So the more you guys like and stuff like that, the better. It helps us out. We really appreciate it. If you are watching on... I clicked over early. Anyways, if you are watching on YouTube and you want to join in my live chats, there should be a link in the description below to my Twitch channel, which is Paytas the Ranger. Just give it a follow. You'll get a notification whenever I go live, and then you hop in to chat. Always love chatting with new people. And then, why are they beating each other? I'm sorry, I'll bring this back. The skeletons just started, like, attacking each other. I've never seen them do that. Weird. Anyways, my streaming times are normally Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you again to all my subscribers. Your support is always appreciated. You guys rock. And that is it for me today, guys. I will catch you tomorrow at 1.